up, YouTube? Topaz Jace back for another daily review, and this one is to that Rihanna Sludgehammer, which is a song off of this soundtrack for that new Star Trek movie that's about to come out. And I'm a fan of the Star Trek movies and such, man. I definitely enjoyed the first ones, even though they pretty much just did what the original movies did and tried to ultimately update it, but yet they're using the same exact storylines and such. So this Sludgehammer was a very interesting concept, and I feel as though people should apply this to their daily life and such, because what Rihanna is ultimately singing about is having a relationship pretty much fall apart, and this person that she was in a relationship with was ultimately downing her. Like how most dudes be super egotistical when they start telling women like, you ain't nothing without me, what are you gonna be without me type stuff. So this guy that she's talking about is ultimately trying to tear down her self-esteem and everything, and she ultimately hit a wall because of it, but yet she realizes that she can break through that, and which she's ultimately the Sludgehammer trying to break through all of the nonsense in order for her to find her own happiness. And this is just the reality of life here. There is no such thing as a wall that you can't break through. It doesn't matter if it's a relationship wall that she's talking about or whether you're trying to break into the music industry. There's always going to be obstacles in your way. There's always going to be people doubting you. There's always going to be people trying to prevent you from succeeding. But if you want it bad enough, there's no way anybody can stop you, because you're going to continue to learn from your mistakes. You're going to research and find new ways in order to approach what you desire. And ultimately, it just takes one time. Like, you can fail at 1,000 plans, but if you get that one plan to work, then you're going to see all of the success that you ultimately want. But overall, man, a very solid song here. I like the production, I like the concept, I like everything about it. The track, I definitely recommend you to go ahead and peep on out. But this concludes today's review, and now we're going to jump into a brief instrumental from underground producer DJ Chronic before we jump into some of your questions. That Kendrick Lamar is weak, he ain't nothing compared to the game, and your whole argument here is pretty terrible. Like, you are obviously trying to pole jock the game and everything, but yet it doesn't work, because the game even came out and gave Kendrick his props on multiple occasions. I mean, as of recently, he did a documentary for the streets of Compton where Kendrick Lamar was a main feature, where people were saying he's the best rapper right now on the game's documentary. So chill out with all that pole jock. And speaking of pole jocking, all of these designer fans, now that I legitimately proved that he is straight up trying to emulate Future and he just doesn't actually sound like him, now they're saying, well, he's just better than Future. It's not about who did it first, it's about who did it best. Like, bro, when you are purposefully trying to emulate somebody in the game, you got no right to be called better than them. Quite honestly, if you compare the latest projects that came out back to back, I would say they're about drawing even quality music-wise. But, I mean, if I had to choose between one or the other, I would say the designer was slightly better. But ultimately, if you're not being original, standing on your own accord, man, you get no respect, because this game was designed for people to be themselves. I hope you enjoyed the show. You can follow me at Twitter up there, and you can go to downloadpaz.com, that's down there, to read today's article.